So, good day everyone. I am Vanet Mea Calvida, and for today's video, we're gonna talk about the history of macOS. So, let's start. So, macOS has been around since 1984. Today, we all know that Apple has the largest and the most diverse product in ecosystem in the history, and their Macintosh operating system, also known as the macOS. So we're gonna explore the history of macOS and find out how it's grown and evolved over the past 4 decades. So the beginning of macOS goes all the way back in 1984. That when Apple introduced the Macintosh, which was the first commercial computer na mo features a graphical user interface and a mouse that could help the machine or made the machines much easier to use and more accessible to people who not be interested in the technology. So first, there was the Macintosh System Software 1 in 1984. It was introduced with the original Macintosh operating system, which received one of the longest applause breaks in the recorded history. As Apple Incorporation released System 1, System 1 introduced some incredible, powerful features that remain a crucial part of macOS to this day. Some of those included the Finder, a file manager responsible for launching application, and the overall user management of files, disks, and the network volumes. We all know that Apple has the largest sikat juga yung Apple, sukad pa dyan sa una. Then hantod karon sikat gapon siya. So next is the System 2. So System 2 added support for Apple Talk, which allow local network of Macintosh computers to be connected without the need of the centralized router or a server. Then next is the System 3.0. So System 3.0 was released on January of 1986. System 3 was introduced with the Macintosh Flash, officially implemented 800 key slots of startup drive support for the several new technologies, included the Apple Share. So next is the System 4.0. So sa System 4.0 makita na nato dinhi na sila mga new machines nga mo required og mga additional support software for their new expansion slots and the Apple desktop bus, internal hard drives, external colorful display, and this is the first Motorola processor. Then, toward the end of 1987, Apple introduced a package titled Apple Macintosh System Software. So, diri na, nisunod na dayon og update ang Apple og 5.0. So, ang kaning 5.0, ang main function na niya kay was a multi-finder. Nga naa siya extension nga mulet bitaw siya sa system na mo run og several applications in just at once. Then naa sa mga installer tool nga mo update sa katong mga karaan na mga previous system nga kanang i-update siya to a new version. Then, ang kaning System 5 kay kuan na kini siya, available na siya in short times, then available na siya sa katong mga selected countries. So next is the System Software 6, serve as the consolidation release at the Macintosh System Software. So kaning System 6 kay nag-produce ni siya og complete and stable, long-lasting operating system. Then na siya usa ka features nga karang a utility nga ginatawag na to og micromaker. Kani si micromaker mo allow na siya sa user nga mo record sa mouse o sa keyboard inputs. So next is System 7. So System 7 was released in 1981. So kani diri kay bali major update na jud ni siya ang nasud-an niya ng mga user interface. Kay na siya mga new application stability improvements and many new features na ang mga nakita ani. So after this, Apple released macOS 8 in 1987. So shortly after Steve Jobs returned to the company, it was the mainly release to keep the macOS moving forward during a difficult time for Apple. So naabot sa time nga ang Apple kay naadyo sila mga difficulties kay true kanang ang ilaha man yung system is naadyo bayad, like every update nimo naadyo siya bayad, then kung mo-release jud siya naadyo payment. So kaning ang macOS added a numbers of features from the abandoned Coupler project, while learning the underlying operating system has changed. Then kanisad si macOS 8 kay naa siya usa ka kanang makita na nato diri ang Platinum. Kana si Platinum is mao na siyang ability to change the appearance of the themes, na also known as the schemes of the operating system. Then when Apple released macOS 8, Apple sold 1.2 million of macOS 8 in just the first 2 weeks of release ani, og 3 million within 6 months. Then pero because of the financial difficulties at that time, there were a large grassroots movements among the Mac users to upgrade and help save Apple. So naabot jud sa panahon nga like na lisod na jud bitaw sila sa pagkuan sa Apple, kay many man jud users like karang dili na lang jud mo prefer na sila nga mangita na lang sila mga operating system na libre, kay even though dili nimo gamito ng Apple kanang siya na operating system is kung upgrade na siya mobayad jud ka. So next is the macOS 9. Then the last major revision of the early Macintosh operating system was released in 1999. So makita na nato diri pero naga pa siya kausaban. Then it added improved support for the airport wireless networking, which allow users to access the internet quickly and easily. So by the pag-abot na sa 2001, ang Apple kay nag-reveal na sila, like ni-reveal na sila nga pagawas sila og macOS 10 for the first time. So diri na sa nagsugod ang Apple og naghimos bitaw sila tradition nga every version nga ilang ipagawas is i-name nila sa katong mga big cats. So when Apple revealed the macOS X at the first time, at the revealed sila at the Macworld Expo. So it was a radical change from the previous version, featuring an entire new user interface called Aqua, which influenced by the shiny, colorful iMac and iBook. Then the design goal of Aqua was to make the buttons look so good when you want to lick them. So after nila revealed ang katong namong paggawas na bitaw sila macOS 10.0, kay ang first nga ilang gi-release kay mao ni si Cheetah. Kana si Cheetah mao na siya si macOS X 10.0, was released on March 24, 2001 for a price of $129. Then pagka-release ani nila kay importante jud kaayo sa Apple industry, kay since kaniman ang bali ni Mark ug beginning na sad sa new era sa Macintosh operating system. Then in fact pagka-release nila ani kay naghimo silang monumental transition sa ang Apple, nagheld sila og funeral sa Mac O9 sa stage. So but naaga po yung mga problems si Cheetah, kay nakita diri ang mga nakita bitaw diri sa system, ay nakita diri sa Cheetah nga mas mo ang process bitaw niya mas mo consume pa siya og large amount sa system compared sa importance og sa function niya. Then that caused the system slowdown and bagging down of application performance. Then many users sa jud ang nakabantay nga na-jud siya mga lack of basic features like DVD playback and CD burning. Although ang cheetah like nindot jud siya tan-awon sa imong computer system, but dili jud siya, if madagan jud mastorya, prefer nga dili jud siya nindot gamiton. Din tungod sa kanang heavy criticism sa pag-release nila ani ni macOS 10.0 kay ang Apple naka-decide og mo-offer sila og next version sa mga users for free. Kay nabay bayad na $129 pag-release nila aning macOS 10.0. So diri na ni-release ang Apple og macOS 10.1 nga ginatawag nato og Puma. Was released on September 25, 2001. Then pagka-release ani nila, na-praise jud sila sa mga Mac users ang Apple. Kay diri man jud nila gipakita, gi-introduce nila ang mga features nga wala ni Cheetah. Like kanang CD, DVD burning card, DVD playback support, support for more printers and faster 3D performance. But wala gyapon nahuman ang pag-criticize sa mga users sa kani kay kanang na-failed sila o kanang na-failed sila o kanang pag-fix sa mga significant bugs na that could system crashes and failure to improve system applications. Daghan jud kayo mga users na nakabantay nga like taga-release jud nila kay nadyo mga kuwang, so daghan jud kay sila mga criticize sa mga Mac users. So next, Apple released macOS X Jaguar, was released on October 3, 2003. Then it turned the macOS into a more refined and stable operating system. Then ang kani siya kay nindot ni pagkahuman na anin niya release, nanunod na dahil ni sila kani si macOS Panther, Tiger, Leopard, Snow Leopard, and the Lion. Release na ni siya, then all follow with the same patterns. Then pero kaning ni-introduce ni sila og mga new features o mga system optimization to keep the OS competitive. But pagkahuman ani ni-release na sad ang Apple og macOS OS X Mountain Lion that was released on July 25, 2012. So diri na nagsugod ang Apple na mubigan siya og mga introducing applications and element from iOS to macOS like Notes, Messages, Game Center, and Notification Center. Then diri ni padayon gyapon ni continue gihapon ang subsequent updates sa OS. The next is Apple release OS X Mavericks on October 23, 2013 with the features of desktop version of iBooks and Maps. Next is Apple release OS X Use Mic, was released on July 19, 2017 with the features of photos. So dili na nato makita ang katong photos kay pero dili kanang kaybaw man ko nga kaybaw jud ang mga kaybaw man mo ani kay sa katong mga iPhone users diha kay makita jud ni siya sa inyong cellphone. So next is Apple release OS X Sierra, then was released on September 20, 2016. Then featured Siri and Apple Pay. Then next is the OS Mojave. So OS Mojave was released on September 24, 2018. Was featured with the news, stacks, and voice memos and home. The next is on October 7, 2019, Apple released macOS Catalina, features dedicated music and podcast app plus. Then diri sa pagka-release nila ani ni Catalina kay ang Apple Project Catalyst kay naghimo siya design nga mo help bitaw sa mga developers nga bring to iOS and iPad OS apps to the Mac. The next is Apple release macOS Big Sur on November 12, 2022, introduced the support for AirPod Max TV app enhancement, and the Apple News widgets and privacy information on the App Store. Then the two latest macOS nga release sa Apple is the macOS Monterey and the macOS Ventura was released on October 22, 2022. So, diri na makita na kanang panglitan kanang mag-FaceTime bitaw mo kay kanang makatanaw ra mo together, maka-watch together o magka-listen together mo sa inyong mga gusto. So, that's all. And next reporter, please.
macOS has the best or the better privacy and security than Windows 10 since the both OS offers the same features. So macOS has better because iyang data nga ma-share ka gamay, and while ga browse ka sa Safari, which is ang built-in browser sa macOS, is dili ka matrack sa mga sites nga imong gi-visit. Next, media. First, we have is music. This is where you store and play music on the macOS. Next, TV. So, there ka ma-watch og mga TV series, TVs, entertainments, and etc. Podcast. This is where you can listen or talk about or to discuss about something on the macOS. Next, stocks. This is where you can buy and sell something on the macOS. Next, App Store. This is where you can install apps, social media, and games, and etc. Books. This is where you can install and buy books, and also you can read them on your device. Next, creativity. First, photos. This is where you can store your photos that been taken or downloaded on your computer. Next, GarageBand. This is a built-in application nga studio version sa macOS. So this is where you can do recordings, edits, and etc. Next, movie. So this is where you can watch movies sa macOS. Productivity. First, we have Pages. So mo ni ang word processor sa macOS. Kung sa uban pa nga kay more siya Microsoft Word. Next, numbers. So mo ni siya ang spreadsheet sa macOS. Keynotes is ara ka may move slides and presentation. Mo na ang version sa macOS. Next, communication. First, we have Ismail, where you can send and compose mails in the macOS. Messages, where you can message to someone that has the same features as well. Next, FaceTime. So there ka maka video call and talk to your friends. Find My, where you can find your device in the map, which is the macOS. Organization. First, we have Notes. You can compose and store and save notes in the macOS. Next, reminders. You can set reminders and it will remind you on the exact date and time. Calendar, where you can see the date, month, and year. Next, voice memos, where you can save, record, and play voice recordings. Contacts, you can add the other people in your contacts and save it on your device. Internet. So first we have a Safari. So this is the version of like web browser sa macOS. Next, Apple Pay, where you can pay your payments on the macOS. Lastly, Spotlight. You can search easily the apps built in your computer. You can search and find it quickly using Spotlight. Thank you.
Hello, I am Carl, and for today we are going to talk about the features and compatibilities, updates of the latest macOS Ventura. So, the first feature is the clock upgrade. So, what is clock upgrade? So makita ninyo sa slide is that ang clock upgrade kay mura na siya kanang clock sa iOS, mura siya more siya gi-copy paste ra. Like for example, na siya ka na timer, alarm, and so if mag-timer ka, mapunta na sa imong notifications if mahuman na imong time. So like what I said, ang gani siya na feature is kanang 10 years late because na siya sa iOS but karon pa na siya na sa macOS. So the next feature is the new system preferences. So unsa ni siya? So i-click nimo aning new system preferences, naa ni siya makita ang imong Apple ID, in family sharing, general, which is naa diha ang imong mga files, desktop, and screensaver. So desktop, which means kung asa imong mga app nakabutang. Si Siri. Si Siri, meron na siya Google Voice. So Spotlight Quick Look. So this feature, so as you can see, meron na siya browser na updated browser sa iOS. So Spotlight Quick Look. So if mag-search ka o gusto ka butang, like for example, mag-search ka o cheese. So i-search mo sa cheese is naa siya yung magawas na mga images sa cheese, kung unsay gamit sa cheese, unsay ka ng mga nutrients niya, kung unsay ka ng definition sa cheese, na siya magawas na siya. And if ang nakangindot sa danin ang nakangindot aning spotlight quick look is that if you insert image in this, makita nimo if na siya kung ano siya na image o ma-search na mo siya aning spotlight quick look. So the next feature is the ambient noise mode. So unsa ning ambient noise mode? So as you can see, if gadto nimo sa settings and i-click nimo ang accessibility, so na diha ang ambient noise mode. So i-select nimo sa ambient noise mode is na imong gawas na balance noise, bright noise, dark noise, ocean, and rain, and stream. So what is the purpose in this? So ang purpose ani niyang ambient noise mode is that if dili ka ganahan sa sound or sa environment na imong ikuan ron ang sound sa imong bass ron is that mo ni siya ang purpose ani. Like for example, ganahan kang rainy imong background. So click na namang rain. So indot na siya rain ang imong background. So next is the continuity camera recording. So nothing new from this. Narin na siya sa iOS, but new siya sa macOS latest version because ang nakangindot ra niya na feature is that from the word itself, continuity ang iyang pag-record sa videos. Dictation spelling mode. So what is dictation spelling mode? So as you can see, igado nimo sa settings, pangitawan nimo ang keyboard and makita nimo ang microphone source dito. So i-click mo siya as automatic, and that so whatever is kung unsay istorya nimo i-dictate nimo sa microphone is that maka-automatic siya into spelling mode. So the next feature is called live caption. So something live caption. So as you can see from the word itself, live, whatever videos or live videos you are viewing, recording, or etc. is that you can put captions on that video. So Safari password customization. So what is Safari password customization? So like for example, mag-put ka account and then imo siya ang put nga password. So example, imong account is For example, ako nga, Carl, and then ang gi-password nako is akong last name, Amar. If kanang dili siya kanang dili ay kanang not strong wrong password is that so the use of this Safari password customization is that mo siya mag-dictate if password mo is not strong, and then maka-change ka o sa password mo ito strong password if kanang example add na yung numbers ang Amar ang password na Amar add na yung numbers like for example Amar 123 like
Lastly, we will now tackle about the user interface. Since the recent patch called Ventura was released by macOS, there has been a lot of things that has been changed in the UI. So users find it more applicable and find it more amazing in terms of design and accessibility compared to other OS. So in the new user interface in the Macintosh 13 Ventura, the system preferences, the UI, and the new screen in the Macintosh has been changed. So moving forward, this is the new user interface in Ventura. The new add-ons in Ventura is that if you open an app, you can slide it down at the side, and then you have no problem on navigating on certain tabs or like multiple tabs, since if you are like working a lot for school or something in businesses, that's what macOS has been targeting in large businesses, wherein you use a lot of tabs to be multitasking at the same time, and then it's easier to navigate because you can put it on the side and you can easily see what tab is this, and you can easily navigate through which tab are you gonna choose afterwards. So in the next part, here the new Macintosh 13 Ventura has a new clock system. The last patch, it has no clock system or app because it was merely focused in the iOS. So right now Ventura has newly added the clock app, and then instead of system setting, just like in the last patch, the new name for system settings now system preferences, wherein you can really change what your preferences in your system. You can really change your display settings or wallpaper or something. And then moving forward, in the new user interface, the newly added, there's live text. It's basically if you type on something, just like in Telegram, if you like type in something, it instantly show you a certain image or a GIF to relate to what you are saying, and then send it to the users. Here the weather and clock apps has been changed, and it has new features like running time and a lot of features. And then in the new accessibility tool, they added live captions. If you're like watching a certain video, and then you're finding it hard to find out a certain word in the audio, so you use that live captions in order to know what word he or she was saying, or like how do you translate it instantly. And then moving forward, system settings will change the system preferences. It's been newly designed. And then lastly, the macOS security gets even stronger with new tools, because they added more features on it in order for macOS users to have no problem when it comes to viruses that comes into their system. That's all. Thank you.